because this travel day was absolutely exhausting, and I still have to write the newsletter, and I still have to write newsletters for this weekend. Tua Tagovailoa against the spread as an underdog of 6 or more points is 6-0-1 against the spread as a big dog, just so you know. 99% of money is on Jalen Waddle over 62.5 receiving yards. That's not great. Lamar is the most bet on player to score a touchdown in Thursday Night Football. Then we've got the top 5 most bet on props of the day. So let's get to some more propaganda. Jalen Waddle over 62.5 receiving yards. Keaton Mitchell over 10.5 rushing yards. Devon Achane under 13.5 rush attempts. Derrick Henry over 19.5 yards for his longest rush. And Lamar Jackson over 33.5 rushing yards. So I'll tell you about Derrick Henry. I was looking at him in prime time. Terrible numbers. Terrible primetime numbers. I am staying far away from Derrick Henry. So everyone thinks he's going to have the longest rush. So I'm going to go Lamar Jackson over longest rush. 15.5 yards. I'm not going total rushing yards. I know it's a lower number. I'm just expecting Lamar to break one big one. So Lamar has gone over 15.5 rushing yards for his longest rush. 7 of his last 10 primetime games, 8 of those 10 were on the road. Miami, 9th most rushing yards per game allowed to quarterbacks this year. 71% of quarterbacks have gone over their longest rush prop against the Dolphins. So Lamar over 15.5 yards for his longest rush is my favorite Lamar prop tonight. Isaiah Likely, as Mark Zeno said, I do like him over his receiving yards. He had 42 and 43 receiving yards in his career against Miami. 7 of the last 9 primetime road games with Lamar. Likely averaged 52 receiving yards per game. Miami. Oh, I forgot to tweet. Damn it. I should have tweeted out that I'm talking about all this. Hold on one second. Let me tweet out that I'm talking about prop queen edges for TNF. Because everyone was like, oh, I want to know your prop queen edges. Prop queen edges for TNF now. Damn. Sorry. Well, if anyone's just tuning in, you can check out the YouTube page. It's all on the YouTube page, and you can see all the prop queen edges of the day. Anyway, Isaiah Likely, over 21.5 receiving yards, 42 and 43 against Miami, 7 of the last 9 road primetime games, 52 receiving yards a game with Lamar. Miami's 7th most receiving yards per game allowed to tight ends. And he hasn't had a big game yet, Likely, since returning from injury. This is the prime time spot. You know who else is good in prime time for the Ravens? Rashad Bateman. He has scored in 6 of the last 7 primetime games for the Ravens when Lamar is under center. So I'm going Bateman anytime TD. Rasul Douglas over 4.5 total tackles. Is that even money? I bet it. Well, at least I bet it at even money today. He had over in 7 of the last 10 primetime games, and he was a Buffalo Bill for the last couple of years, Rasul Douglas, where he faced said Baltimore Ravens and had 6 and 7 total tackles against the Ravens against the when he was in Buffalo. So he's familiar with this Ravens recent offensive scheme, and he knows how to tackle the Ravens. Clearly, 6 and 7 in the last 2. I looked at Jalen Waddle. I know everybody's on his receiving yards, so I would probably go to longest reception. He's gone over in 3 of the last 5 primetime games with Tua. The Ravens always blow coverage somewhere, so I would look that direction. But I'm going more defensive prop for the Dolphins because I think the Ravens can find a way to keep themselves on the field offensively. So this way it keeps the Miami defense on the field, which means more tackles for Miami and more offensive possessions for the Ravens. Believe Lamar is not going to throw, so taking under completions and attempts. Okay, good luck with that against this Miami defense. Mark Andrews touchdown reception odds. They were like plus 190. Isaiah Likely was like plus 260. Andrews definitely gets more of those red zone targets. That's why I'm going yardage for Isaiah Likely. I'm going Bateman, though, anytime TD. Someone else told me that they like Zay Flowers anytime TD because he's also a Miami, Florida boy. But remember, Lamar is a Miami guy. Lamar like grew up from around there. This is a homecoming for him. He clearly wanted to play today more than Sunday. Hence, obviously, it's a short week. Didn't want to go on a short week, but this game means something to Lamar. Anytime Lamar plays the Dolphins, he lights them up. Win or lose, when they've lost, it's been because they were up by 20 and they blew another lead. Lamar loves to beat Miami. It is going to be in front of a lot of friends and family for him. This is a big game to Lamar, hence why he didn't want to bang himself up on Sunday and plan a short week. He wanted to be healthy and ready to go to face Miami today. So I like Likely. I like Bateman touchdown. I like Lamar to go over his longest rush, and I like Russell Douglas to go over his total tackles tonight in this Ravens and Dolphins game. And lastly, I'm going to a strikeout prop in Major League Baseball. We've got the World Series tomorrow, Game 6, Toronto Blue Jays, minus 150-ish on the road. Oh, excuse me. Dodgers minus 150-ish on the road facing the Blue Jays in Toronto. I'm going under on the Yamamoto strikeouts. It was 6.5. I bet it already this morning. Yamamoto under 6.5 Ks. I know that he's had back-to-back great days going over this. He had 7 against Milwaukee and 11 against Toronto. He threw a complete game against the Jays. The Jays very, very rarely strike out. They've averaged just under 4 strikeouts a game this year. To get the same team twice in a row in the same week is tough. Yamamoto hasn't had to do that yet this postseason. Nonetheless, he's on the road now in a potential elimination game. If Yamamoto gets into any trouble, he's getting pulled. I know they don't want to, and I know that has not been manager of the Dodgers, Dave Roberts' tendency to pull anybody and go to the bullpen because it's been unreliable. It's an elimination game. Yamamoto's leash very short if he gets into trouble. Again, the Jays just don't strike out a lot. Second time through, seeing him again. Now he's on the road. Again. And again, you can't look at the Brewers. The Brewers strike out a lot more than Toronto. So we're going under 6.5 Ks for Yoshinobu Yamamoto tomorrow in Game 6.